in the meetings, which begin in earnest tomorrow, with closed sessions, all of them taking place in the Frigate Bay area. We have, in order, alphabetical order, the Honourable Gaston Brown, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, the Honourable Philip Davis, Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Honourable Mia Amor Motley, Prime Minister of the Republic of Barbados, Honourable John Brasenio, Prime Minister of Belize, the Honourable Roosevelt Skerritt, Prime Minister of Dominica, the Honourable Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, Caricom and Petit Martinique, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, His Excellency Alice Didier Filami, Prime Minister of Haiti, the Most Honourable Dr. Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honourable Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honourable Dr. Godwin Friday, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Her Excellency President Dr. Jennifer Reiling Simmons, President of the Republic of Suriname, Honourable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, SC, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Honourable Cora Richardson Hodge, Premier of Anguilla, Honourable Edward David Burt, Premier of Bermuda, the Honourable Dr. Natalia Wheatley, Premier of the British Virgin Islands, Honourable Andre Ebanks, Premier of the Cayman Islands, His Excellency Mr. Galmar Piaz, Prime Minister of Curacao, and Honourable Jamel R. Robinson, Deputy Premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands. They will be, of course, joined by Dr. Carla Barnett, who is the Secretary General of the Caribbean Community.
And important to note that, of course, there are a number of specially invited guests. Maybe you would have mentioned, of course, the U.S. Secretary of State, His Excellency Marco Rubio, is expected to address the meeting. And the meeting, I should actually mention, takes place from the 24th to the 27th here in Frigate Bay. The specially invited guests include His Excellency Adel Al-Jubeir, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and I'm sure there are some persons who have already seen the traditional wear of persons from Saudi. If you go look on the screen now, they're off to the right. The meeting will also be addressed by the Honourable Shirley Botchway, who is the Secretary General for the Commonwealth Secretariat. Her Excellency Noura bint Mohammed Al-Kabi, who is the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in the United Arab Emirates. And also Dr. George Itombi, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the African Export-Import Bank, commonly referred to as Afrexim Bank.
Also just arriving is the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs for St. Kitts and Nevis, Senator Garth Wilkin.
The 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Caricom will address critical regional priorities, including climate finance, food and energy security, regional security, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, geopolitical developments.
So we're having varying views of the audience. Just a moment ago, we were able to see a lot of persons from St. Kitts and Nevis in senior positions who were already seated and waiting for the proceedings to move forward today. Among them were the Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Timothy Antwine. We also saw that we have Senator Iselin Phillip, who is already seated. We already indicated that we had the arrival of other cabinet secretaries here as well, along with his wife, seeing the Premier of Nevis and his wife, as well as members of the Nevis Island administration.
ECCB Governor Antoine is having a very interesting conversation, it seems like, with the acting financial secretary for the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, Carlton Parkson.
Very many members of the business community as well turned out. We're seeing a lot of senior civil servants as well in attendance this afternoon. Very important event, of course, not needless to say. Over 200 individuals, delegates, members of the media and others especially invited to be a part of this opening ceremony this afternoon. In the distance, we're also hearing the arrival of another official motorcade, and so we look forward to seeing who is joining us now. As it opens tomorrow, though, there are a number of topics that we expect will take place. You're seeing off to the left the Marriott Golf Club. This is where the closed sessions will be held. We expect real deep conversations to be had on the issue of Haiti. We're expecting conversations to take place about Venezuela and the unfolding situation taking place there, as well as in Cuba. Reparations is also high on the list of issues to be discussed. Climate change, food security in the region. We are anxiously awaiting the conclusion of the meeting as well to know exactly what was discussed, what solutions and new policies will have guiding us moving forward.
And we can just see the arrival of the chair of Caricom, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, and his wife, Mrs. Diane Prince Drew. And he's greeting the members of the Honeybee String Band from Nevis. Prime Minister looks like he's ready to shake a leg.
And Prime Minister just stopping there along with his wife to take a portrait in front of the official Caricom banner. Among some of the other issues that we expect may be coming up among the heads as they meet over the next few days are free movement and the Caribbean single market and economy. 4 countries so far having fully adopted it. Conversations, of course, to surround some concerns there may be in other member states who have not yet fully adopted the CSME and free movement principles. Air and sea transportation, perhaps as well, among those issues to be discussed as we move over the next few days, and they really put their heads together to chart the way forward for Caricom over the next several months. Prime Minister Dr. Drew, of course, will be the chairman for the first half of the year. Digital economy and banking, these are all issues that we expect to be major talking points for the leaders across the region over the next few days. So we're inside the holding area, having a view of a very exclusive area there. The Prime Minister now engaging with Her Excellency Noura bint Mohammed Al-Kabi, Minister of State, responsible for foreign affairs of the United Arab Emirates. He is also now having a conversation with Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. In the back, we're seeing Honourable Deacon Mitchell of Grenada. He's now meeting and saying hello to all the ministers, as he should, as the host and chair of Caricom. Dr. Godwin Friday, Dr. Andrew Holness of Jamaica, and they're just off to the left. We're seeing Secretary General of Caricom, Dr. Carla Barnett.
And you can see that there is good rapport between the Prime Minister and his colleague heads across the region. Prime Minister is now greeting the Honourable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada.
So a great number of leaders already here. We're looking forward, I believe, to a start very shortly. It appears as though off to the left there, speaking might be representatives of the Afrexim Bank, speaking with Prime Minister of Dominica. It's not quite clear to see who that person is, but certainly we are also seeing members of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia delegation off to the back as well. As we prepare to get started, Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brown. So among those, everyone, of course, certainly significant, but of those that we certainly look forward to at regional events of this sort, Prime Minister Mia Mottley has not yet arrived. We're certainly looking forward to welcoming her.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ahead of the opening ceremony, we kindly invite you to take your seats at this time.
Prime Minister now greeting the President of Suriname. She actually is the first female president of that country.
Jennifer Heiling Simmons. I was looking out for, but I don't think I've quite spotted him yet. Andre Ebanks, with Premier of Cayman Islands. And we've not seen may very well be inside the building, because there are a few who have already moved into the holding area for the senior dignitaries. So he may very well be the Prime Minister of Curacao. We've not yet seen him as yet. And the Deputy Premier of Turks and Caicos Island. But I'm quite sure, as is the case with Prime Minister Mottley, they'll be here very shortly. But with the announcement of seating, we will be moving inside to carry on the coverage of the meeting this afternoon, or the opening of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caricom the Caribbean Community. Again, a very important time for us, 50 years of meetings and of Caricom's togetherness, and certainly looking forward to a long future of Caricom staying united and working together as one region.
And there are some persons who may be looking at the stream and wondering where the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is. I should mention he's not going to be here for the opening. He's not in country as yet. He's scheduled to arrive later this week and participate in the meetings with Caricom heads, and also have some bilateral discussions with Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Terence True. Now, the meeting with Secretary Rubio is expected to underscore the deep and long-standing partnership between Caricom and the United States, and of course reflect ongoing efforts to strengthen cooperation in key areas. And it relates to the multilateral engagements. Prime Minister Drew is expected to hold a bilateral meeting, as I mentioned, with Secretary Rubio, and the discussion will allow for more focused dialogue on issues of national importance to St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as opportunities to deepen cooperation between St. Kitts and Nevis and the United States of America.
Ian, it's certainly been a pleasure sitting with you this afternoon, announcing the arrival of heads of delegations, heads of Caricom, as we get into this meeting, and certainly look forward to a very exciting and insightful next few days. The meeting concludes on Thursday, but the work of Caricom will certainly continue.
Excuse, good afternoon.
We can see off into the distance on the left side of the screen, that's the island of Nevis, St. Kitts' sister island. We are standing by awaiting the official start to the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of Caricom here in Frigate Bay in St. Kitts. We see the arrival of the Foreign Affairs Minister for St. Kitts and Nevis, the Right Honourable Dr. Denzel Douglas.
And so our producers have just signaled to us that everyone has already arrived who should be here, with the exception of Honourable Mia Mountly, Prime Minister of Barbados. She will be joining us, however. And so the meeting moves forward. Also to advise you of those persons who may not have been highlighted on camera but who are very much here with us today, His Excellency Adel Al-Hubier, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and you would have already pointed to Dr. George Alombi, who is the Afrexim Bank representative with us this afternoon. We would have seen on camera earlier as well Her Excellency Nora bint Mohammed Al-Khabi. She is the Minister of State responsible for Foreign Affairs for the United Arab Emirates.
As we continue to stand by for the official start to the opening ceremony for the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, or Caricom, being held here in St. Kitts under the chairmanship of Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Terence True, who assumed the chairmanship of the Caricom on January 1st of this year. The Prime Minister has consistently emphasized the importance of principled, respectful, and strategic engagement with international partners, noting that small states, such as the member states of Caricom are, must remain united while actively shaping their place within an evolving global order. So as the meeting is about to officially get underway, I'm Ian Richards. Let me just say it was a pleasure being with you. Ebony, final words?
Certainly looking forward to the meeting today. And over the next several days, the opening ceremony is going to feature a number of very interesting cultural highlights as well. And so we invite all viewers to stay with us as we proceed into this most important meeting.
And also to stay tuned, up to date with developments from the meeting with the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service. Social media platforms is YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And also the website is www.sknis.gov.kn. I'm Ian Richards, wishing you a wonderful afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do it. I am Julie Charles, and I am joined by my esteemed co-host, Mr. Curtis Martin. It is our pleasure to welcome you to the opening ceremony of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of the Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, Caricom, convened under the theme, Beyond Words, Action Today for a Thriving, Sustainable Caricom. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as you are able for the arrival of Her Excellency Dame Marcella Althea Liburd, GCMG JP, Governor General of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. As you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the arrival of the heads of delegation of the Conference of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. As each head of delegation is introduced, a primary school student approaches from the opposite side of the stage. They meet briefly at the center stage before the head of delegation proceeds to their position. In that moment, leadership meets the next generation, a meaningful expression of the theme, Beyond Words, Action Today for a Thriving, Sustainable Caricom. Honourable Gaston Brown, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda. Representing the Honourable representing Barbados, Honourable Philip Davis, Prime Minister of the Bahamas. My apologies. Barbados will be represented by the Honourable Mayor Amor Motley, who is currently on her way to the Federation. Moving right along, Honourable John Briseno, Prime Minister of Belize. Honourable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Honourable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, Caricom and Petit Martinique. His Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. His Excellency, Alex Didier Fils-Aimé, Prime Minister of Haiti. Representing the Honourable Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, is the Honourable Alva Baptiste, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Dr. the Honourable Godwin Friday, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Her Excellency, Dr. Jennifer Gerlings Simmons, President of the Republic of Suriname. Honourable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Honourable Cora Richardson Hodge, Premier of Anguilla. Representing Honourable Edward David Burt, Premier of Bermuda, the Honourable Alexa Lightburn, Minister of Home Affairs. Dr. the Honourable Natalia Whitley, Premier of the British Virgin Islands. Honourable Andre Ebanks, Premier of the Cayman Islands. His Excellency, Mr. Gilmar Pisas, Prime Minister of Curacao. Dr. the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica. Representing Montserrat. Calling on the head of delegation for Montserrat. Okay. Mayor Mead. Premier of Montserrat, Ruben Mead. And we go back to Barbados. Honourable Mayor Amor Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados. Just landed. Yes. She just landed. Ladies and gentlemen, Honourable Jamel Robinson, Deputy Premier and Head of Delegation of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Carla Barnett, Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, Caricom. The Honourable Dr. Terence Michael Drew, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and Chairman of Caricom. Let us give a warm round of applause for all of the heads of delegation. We now proceed with the singing of the national anthem, performed by Dr. Marissa Carty. The national anthem of St. Kitts and Nevis, performed by Dr. Marissa Carty.
Our country, where peace abounds, thy children stand free on the strength of will and love, with God in all our struggles. Saint Kitts and Nevis be bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts we stand for justice and liberty, with wisdom and truth. We will serve and honor thee. No sword nor spear can conquer, for God will sure defend. His blessing shall forever to posterity extend.
For the invocation, we now invite Reverend Renesia Huggins of the St. Paul's Wesleyan Holiness Church to invoke God's blessings on this ceremony.
Let us bow for prayer. Almighty and everlasting God, we gather at this significant moment in the life of our Caribbean community with hearts of gratitude for the rich heritage we share, diverse cultures, and resilient spirit that define our region. Lord, we thank you for the beauty of our islands and mainland territories, for the seas that surround us, the land that sustains us, and the people whose creativity and strength shape our shared destiny. We thank you for our leaders, delegates, and citizens who've come together for this important assembly. Lord, we ask for wisdom to guide every discussion, integrity to shape every decision, and courage to pursue what is just and beneficial for all of us. We ask for clarity, Father, of thought where issues are complex. We ask, God, that you would grant patience where perspectives differ. We ask that you would grant unity where there may be division. May this gathering strengthen cooperation among our nations and deepen our commitment to economic stability, social development, environmental stewardship, and the well-being of future generations. Bless the work of this community, Lord. Bless the partnerships formed and the agreements reached. Lord, we ask that you would bless our region with peace, resilience, and sustainable progress. May we leave this ceremony this afternoon renewed in purpose, mindful of our shared responsibility, and be determined to build a Caribbean that reflects dignity, opportunity, and hope for all. We offer this prayer. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Reverend Huggins. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now be seated. We now invite the official photographers, SKNIS, and the Caricom photographers to come forward and take photographs at this time. We now invite the other photographers to come forward and take photographs. Thank you. Our distinguished heads of delegation will now proceed to their seats. Your voice back in. Mine? I know.
Your Excellency, Dame Marcella A. Liebert, GC, MG, JP, Governor General of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honourable Dr. Terence M. Drew, Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and incoming Chair of the Caribbean Community, and Mrs. Prince Drew, Dr. the Most Honourable Andrew Michael Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, and an outgoing Chair of the Caribbean Community, heads of government of the Caribbean Community and their spouses, Dr. Carla Barnett, Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, Honourable Lenine Blanchett, Speaker of the National Assembly, members of the Judiciary of St. Kitts and Nevis, members of the Federal Cabinet of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honourable Mark Brantley, Leader of His Majesty's Loyal Opposition of the National Assembly and Premier of Nevis and Mrs. Brantley, other members of the National Assembly, Cabinet Ministers from Caricom member states, Your Honour, Hailita Liebert, OBE, MH, Deputy Governor General for Nevis, members of the Nevis Island Assembly, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Right Excellent and the Right Honourable Dr. Sir Kennedy Simmons, KCMG, National Hero and Lady Simmons, members of the Caricom Secretariat Executive, ambassadors of member states accredited to Caricom, His Excellency Adel bin Ahmed Al Jubeir, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, member of the Council of Ministers and Climate Envoy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Her Excellency Noura bint Mohammed Al Kabei, Minister of State at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the United Arab Emirates, ambassadors of third states accredited to CARICOM, permanent secretaries, senior government officials, Honourable Shirley Botchway, Commonwealth Secretary General, Dr. Didiscus Jules, Director General of the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States, Dr. George Ilombe, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the African Export-Import Bank, other representatives of international and regional organizations, members of delegations, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today, to deliver welcome to the 50th regular meeting of the Caribbean community, we invite the St. Kitts and Nevis Youth Ambassadors, Aquanje Robinson and Siobhan Phipps Harding, to bring welcome.
A very good afternoon to you all. On behalf of the government and the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, it is our distinct honor and privilege to welcome each and every one of you to this historic occasion, the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. To all who have traveled from near and far to join us, I extend our warmest greetings from our Twin Island Federation. May you feel from this very moment the genuine hospitality, pride, and warmth of our Kittitian and Nevisian people as we host this golden jubilee of Caribbean togetherness. My Caribbean people, we stand at a historic threshold. 50 meetings of this magnitude represents decades of shared vision. But as we gather today under the theme, Beyond Words, Action Today for a Thriving, Sustainable CARICOM, we must acknowledge a fundamental truth. Our region's people and youth are no longer looking for togetherness written in ink, but they are looking for progress etched into our landscapes. The people of this region are not blind to the gravity of our situation. We feel the volatility of a changing climate, the weight of shifting world orders, the burden of our shared debt, and the heartbreak of watching our best and brightest take our talents elsewhere when the future they seek feels more certain beyond our shores than within them.
We are keenly aware of the barriers before us, but we do not stand here in despair. Instead, we stand grounded in the one constant that has defined the Caribbean for centuries: resilience. Our resilience is not a modern buzzword. It is our inheritance. It is woven into our shared history, from the resistance of our ancestors to the reconstruction of our islands after every storm. This resilience has always united us. It is the grit that transformed our large ocean states into global giants in culture, sport, and diplomacy. And having survived the fractures of our past, we are no longer defined by what broke us, but by the sustainable future we stand ready to build. A thriving CARICOM, then, cannot resemble the systems that still constrain us. It must be intentional. It must be bold. It means digital connectivity, that dissolves the borders between our classrooms and our markets. It means food security that breaks excessive import dependence and strengthens our capacity to sustain ourselves. It means climate justice that moves from rhetoric to tangible protection for our communities. And above all, it requires that although separated by water, we rise above division and govern with the resolve of one Caribbean. Let this 50th meeting be remembered not for the elegance of its speeches, but for the boldness of your vision and your implementation, moving beyond words together. Heads of government, as you begin your deliberations, remember that the action we take today is indeed the security and sustainability of Caricom tomorrow.
And remember, our region's future is bright because we are building it together. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Aquanje Robinson and Chevron Phipps Harding, Caricom Youth Ambassadors for St. Kitts and Nevis. Ladies and gentlemen, the Caricom song is the official patriotic song of the Caribbean community. It reflects our history, celebrates our culture, and affirms the identity of Caribbean people. To perform the Caribbean song are Jakima Pitt, Brianna and Brenna Paul, Imani Martin, along with Synergy Movements, drummers, Panis, and the Revealers Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the Caricom song.
Forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains. Through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain. By test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean.
as the song reminds us, though great and diverse our ethnicities, the bonds that unite us are stronger than these. We dine, we pray, we love, we dance, and we play. We relate to each other the West Indian way. Today, as a people united, determined and steadfast we stand. We look to a brand new horizon, the future now, firmly hand in hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite Dr. Carla Barnett, Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, to deliver her remarks.
Okay. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will adopt the protocols already established for this afternoon's proceedings, but would still like to acknowledge Your Excellency, the Marcella Liber, GCMG JP, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and Chairman of the Conference of Heads of Government, other Heads of Government of Caricom, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We gather again in this beautiful Twin Island nation for the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. St. Kitts and Nevis hosted two major Caricom meetings last year, when foreign ministers met in May for the 28th regular meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, and the 19th Caribbean Week of Agriculture, which was held in October. Then, the smallest sovereign state among us is punching above its weight, and no effort has been spared to ensure excellent arrangements for our meeting. On behalf of the community, I thank our host, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister, and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for their gracious hospitality to our delegations. Since assuming the chairmanship of Caricom on January 1 this year, Prime Minister Drew has set the tone for a very active and productive tenure. His chairmanship started with emergency meetings of the community on the very first weekend of the year, and his in-person visits with heads of government in the region have clearly indicated his capacity for action and desire for unity and results. Chair, I am confident that under your guidance and with the support of your colleague heads of government, the Secretariat, and our regional institutions, the interests of our region will see accelerated advancement under your leadership. I was especially pleased to be welcomed with such clarity and passion by Akwanje Robinson and Siobhan Phipps-Harding, two examples of the excellent cadre of young people who serve our region as youth ambassadors. I look forward to seeing even more of our young people's creative talent as the evening progresses. Excellencies, distinguished guests, without question, 2025 was one of the most challenging years in the history of our regional integration movement. Extreme weather events, geopolitical tensions, challenges to multilateralism and the rules-based system, and economic pressures tested our region and threatened hard-won development gains. We will not ever forget Hurricane Melissa, the destructive Category 5 system, which hit Haiti, the Bahamas, Bermuda, and other countries in the region, and left death and catastrophic destruction in its wake in Jamaica. Despite the challenges of response and recovery in the aftermath of the hurricane, we were privileged to have the determination and decisive leadership of Dr. the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, during his tenure as Caricom Chair up to the end of December 2025. Prime Minister Holness, we thank you for your commitment to Caricom matters during that difficult time. Your government and people have Caricom's continued support as restoration efforts continue. In the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, Caricom demonstrated our characteristic resilience, the strength of our collective resolve, and the value of mutual support as our institutions, such as the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Public Health Agency, responded immediately with hands and with hearts to safeguard livelihoods and address humanitarian needs. Expert teams from member states mobilized technical personnel for rapid assessments, logistics coordination, and the movement of relief supplies. They helped to restore electrical lines, built houses, attended to the sick and injured, provided food and hygiene supplies, and supported fundraising efforts, tangible examples of compassion and unity. We acknowledge our partners in the region and beyond, whose overwhelming response helps our community to recover and build resilience as we experience with increasing frequency and severity extreme weather events. We also had occasion to be very proud of our long-standing record of solid democratic governance, as 7 Caricom member states and 4 associate members held peaceful general elections during the year. Since our regular meeting in Jamaica last July, Her Excellency Dr. Jennifer Girling Siemens was inaugurated as the first female President of the Republic of Suriname following general elections in May 2025. His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali was re-elected as President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Dr. the Most Honourable Andrew Holness was re-elected as Prime Minister of Jamaica. Dr. the Honourable Godwin Friday was elected as the new Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Honourable Philip Pierre was re-elected as Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And Honourable Mia Amor Motley has returned as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Barbados. Warm congratulations to them all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, even as we celebrate our gains, Caricom heads of government are acutely aware of the importance of this meeting against the background of the prevailing environment. The theme, structure, and agenda for these 3 days reflect that awareness. We have gathered as a family with considerable time carved out for frank and thorough discussions of and engagement on priority issues. To have all of our member states represented at the level of head of government despite the heavy demands at home is testament to their commitment to this region and to the value of working together in our common interests. Individual national priorities remain vital. However, our collective strength is what amplifies our voice, secures opportunities for growth, and mitigates risk. This has been the approach to our united advocacy on the situation in Haiti, which has helped to transform a regional concern into a global priority. And the decision of 4 of our member states, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to work together as of the 1st of October 2025 and allow full free movement among themselves within the framework of the CARICOM single market and economy is a pioneering step that has paved the way for increased economic activity and people-to-people contacts. We must continue to act together where our interests align, which in fact is far more often than it is sometimes made to appear. At the same time, the shifting global order presents tangible opportunity as new markets emerge, strategic partnerships are recalibrated, Caricom must engage extra-regionally with intention and with coherence by articulating our shared priorities in such areas as energy transition, digital infrastructure, building resilience to climate change and technology. We can attract investments and forge business opportunities that are aligned with our development objectives. A coordinated foreign policy reduces our vulnerability to the inevitable external shocks which no member state can effectively absorb alone. The high number of third states that have pledged their commitment to increase engagement with the community, many of which are represented here today, demonstrates that cooperation and credibility can be transformed into new opportunities for growth, resilience, and shared prosperity. In this vein, I am extremely pleased to welcome the new President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Afreximbank, Dr. George Elombe. His presence here today indicates Caricom's renewed efforts to actively foster South-South partnerships, including with the African Union. Successful second Caricom Africa Summit was held last year, and we are committed to continuing to deepen our engagement in such areas as finance and development, advocacy for reparations, air connectivity, and cultural exchanges. I also welcome our additional special guests, His Excellency Adel bin Ahmed Al Jaber, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and Climate Envoy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, who joins us following the successful inaugural Caricom Saudi Arabia Summit held in 2023. Her Excellency Noura bin Mohammed Al Kawi, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, United Arab Emirates, and the Honourable Shirley Botchway, Commonwealth Secretary General. We look forward to their engagements with heads of government. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, the task before us is formidable but not insurmountable. Our regional integration movement has demonstrated tangible gains in human and social development, foreign policy coordination, security cooperation, and economic development, which have meaningfully improved the lives of the people we serve. As member states build on these achievements, the Secretariat remains firmly committed to maximizing the skills and experience of its staff members and other variable resources with which we have been entrusted. Caricom citizens from every walk of life, in every corner of our community, are looking to us to fulfill the commitment we made as signatories to the Treaty of Chaguaramas. Akwanje, Sobian, and all the young people represented tonight embody the hope and promise of our region. They are the reminders that our solemn duty is to move, as the theme for this meeting urges, beyond words to action for a sustainable, thriving Caricom. Distinguished guests, we are working towards ensuring that the defining outcome of this 50th regular meeting will be that it propelled us decisively towards that goal. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Dr. Barnett. Culture is one of the ways we recognize ourselves. It connects identity with expression and is carried forward through participation and practice. We will now present a combined drum corps, the First Federal Brotherhood Drummers and the Spirit Drummers, in a drumology rooted in our Afro-Caribbean traditions.